Hey, what's up YouTube? This is We All Juggle Knives and you are at Multi-Tool Monday. Today we're going to take a look at the Leatherman OHT, right? The one-handed operable multi-tool. I've had this tool for a while now, but before I purchased it, I did a lot of research on it, checked out a lot of reviews, and one thing that I found, most of the reviews, and especially most of the favorable reviews, were from military guys or from first responders, EMTs, firemen. It does come with this MOLLE compatible pouch. It's got drainage hole there, the Velcro overflap. Here is a size comparison with the Super Tool 300 and the Surge. So all three of these multi-tools are in the XL size, the largest size of Leatherman multi-tools, around 4.5 inches in length. You can see the OHT is a little bit slightly longer, right, and even a little bit wider. So to deploy the pliers, you just press these switches here, and then you let the body just slide down, right? And to retrieve them, you just reverse that. All right, so it's fairly simple. These pliers are spring-loaded. And the plier head has replaceable wire cutters. That sliding mechanism also has a lock. If you turn this sideways, it can lock it. I have found that it's pretty easy to accidentally lock it, which I would say is a big negative. And this whole sliding mechanism, it takes up a lot of space. Now all the other tools, of course, are designed to be opened with one hand as well. You gotta well, if you're right-handed, you know, your thumb has access to the main blade. All the tools lock, right, and they're all accessible from the outside, so that's good. You can also access the other tools with your index finger. You can just basically push it open, like so. And likewise with all the smaller folding tools, right, you can just open these with one hand as well. Now the four longer tools on this are a wood saw, a plain edge blade, which is 420 HC steel, a fully serrated blade of that same steel, and this is what they call a cutting hook. But it also has a screwdriver, and they're saying it has a cleaning rod brush adapter, and also an oxygen wrench. Now the cutting hook is reasonably sharp. It'll go through paracord pretty easily. Now the opening hole for the hook is also the oxygen wrench, and it's larger than the opening hole for the blade. So you can tell by touch where the hook is. And the shorter tools on this are a small flathead screwdriver, large flathead screwdriver, a bottle opener, can opener, and a Phillips screwdriver. And this can be a little longer than the others because it's opposite the cutting hook, which is a bit shorter than the other long tools. Now the Phillips driver on this can take a bit adapter. Right, this is the one that came with one of my Ganzo multi-tools, and it can take all those bits, so it can fit over, hold on, it can fit over that like so. So what is missing from these long tools? Well, it does not have scissors, and it does not have a metal file. Now I'm assuming that it doesn't have scissors because most first responders are going to be carrying like separate medical shears that are just larger and better than any fold-out scissors could be. As for the metal file, they pretty much had a choice between the wood saw and the metal file, and I guess they just figured your chances of needing to saw through some small pieces of wood were more likely out in the field than having to file something with a metal file. The rescue hook, which they call the cutting hook, it makes a lot of sense in this multi-tool, being that it is the multi-tool they're marketing to the first responders. And also, this one goes the right way against the lock. Unlike some of their other tools, they put it on the spine of a blade on some of their other tools. Not good. So yeah, I like the cutting hook on this a lot more than on a lot of other multi-tools. Now, as for the shorter tools, what's missing? Well, definitely they're missing the reamer. You know, no reamer like the Surge has, that's for sure. And as far as the screwdrivers they give you 4 screwdrivers. Small, medium, and large flathead, and then 1 Phillips. So it doesn't give you a micro driver like the Charge or the Wave have, and it also doesn't give you like an extra large flathead like some other multi-tools have. Alright, so basically it doesn't have the XL screwdriver, the reamer, scissors, and this is an extra metal file that can go on your Surge, although I just carry it separately. So that's what it is missing. There's a size comparison between the plain edge blade of the Super Tool 300 and that of the OHT. As you can see, they've had to make some compromises in order to fit in that sliding mechanism. In a conventional multi-tool, you have all that room in there, right, for wall-to-wall tools. You have all that room. But on this multi-tool, all that real estate is being taken up by the slide mechanism. This type of blade shape, it's good for starting cuts, for piercing, and for slicing. And if you tilt it slightly, it's good for drawing cuts. So it's a multi-purpose utilitarian blade shape. You know, even though it's short, they at least made the most of it. Now, a few of the tools seem maybe not to fit the mission of this, but actually, I have heard of a lot of technicians having to, like, let's say, go around the back of a building and get access to some pipes or some machinery or something. And I have heard in that situation, they did find the wood saw useful, just sawing through little saplings and vegetation that was blocking their access. As for the combination opener tool, you know, I just think they weren't sure what to put in that slot. And, you know, it's debatable whether like a micro screwdriver would have been more useful for like technicians, but they went with the opener so you can have a beer after your mission. If I could change anything on this, well, number one, this safety thing is just too easy to accidentally turn, so I would get rid of this, or at least change it so it's harder to accidentally put it on. They're going with the whole rescue thing, which makes sense for this tool, but if they're going to go that route, they should put one of those carbide glass breakers. They should find a way to put a glass breaker at the end of this. I mean, that would make a lot of sense given the first responder theme, and also you could use it as a Kubotan because people in those professions sometimes have to deal with unsavory characters. One of the big questions with this multi-tool is that should a regular person ever buy this tool? Meaning a person who's not like out in the military in the field, not a first responder, not a paramedic, not any kind of emergency profession, just a regular homeowner. Is there any reason for just like a regular homeowner to buy this as opposed to, let's say, the Surge or any of the other Leatherman tools? You know, I would say for your regular average, you know, non-superhero type person, probably 9 out of 10 times one of Leatherman's other tools would be just a bit more useful. Because as I said, you know, no scissors, no reamer, missing 1 or 2 sizes of screwdriver, no metal file, and it's one of the largest Leathermans. So yeah, that is a substantial amount of stuff to give up for the benefit of like sliding pliers and one-hand operable tools. Like, it comes down to the basic priorities of most people. Most people basically value the extra stuff that, let's say, the Leatherman Surge would give them over the ability to use everything with one hand. So yeah, my final conclusions, this is a very specialized tool. It's definitely not for everyone. It does do what it sets out to do, you know, what it's marketed as. However, it does have some substantial drawbacks that it just compromises that it has to make in order to accomplish that. And the regular price is between $70 and $80 currently on Amazon, so you know it's not an inexpensive tool. So before you get this, you want to make really sure that you know the one-handed operability is like your highest priority. Otherwise, you might want to go for a different Leatherman. Now I will include Amazon links to this as well as all the other Leathermans. Alright, please try to do your normal shopping through those links. It does really help out the channel. So that'll be in the text description box. Okay, YouTube, well I hope you enjoyed this discussion and this overview of the Leatherman OHT. This has been We All Juggle Knives and Multitools. I'm out.